What's going on, guys? This is Drew, and
Well, this must be the Drew show
it
because
must
I'm
be
Drew
the
too.
Drew Show. Must be Drew Tube's on the Burnout.
One, two, three, and let's get to call it a show, huh? Yeah, I do
Nothing
too.
good.
Well, but before we get started, let me get your thoughts on something. If Chase Elliott is healthy and is running this race instead of Josh Berry, do they go one, two, three, four?
No,
You don't think so?
no.
Well,
Oh,
what makes you say
did
no?
did they go 1, 2, 3 today?
They sure did.
Okay. No, I just think that there's too many variables. With two tire stops and every, I mean, someone would have been bound to make a mistake out of the four of them. Um, I just don't think so.
I don't know, man. All in all, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a proponent of saying that I hate saying that a race is boring, but holy moly, my guy, you texted me earlier. You mentioned something about I think something about I can't remember what you texted me exactly. Um, Something about this race will not be reviewed highly on the pod. And
Yeah.
as you texted me that, I was in the process of getting into my bed and watching this thing in my bedroom on my TV, preparing to take a nap. Like it was that bad.
Yes, it was.
Like it
This was
was
pre Gen
horrendous.
7 bad.
But I don't know, man.
I hope
I'm a
I
little
really hope
skewed.
this is not a preview of the mile and a half for the whole year, because if it is, Charlotte is back to being an unwatchable 4.5 hour mess.
And I don't have my tickets for that. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. It was rough. Truck race. I mean, honestly, I'm a little skewed as Kyle Busch
That was
running
rough.
up front.
That was a
Um,
chore.
Xfinity. If Kyle Busch hadn't been running up front, I probably would have been just as uninterested. I think the finish is pretty cool. I call
Yeah,
that
the finish
Austin
was
Hill.
good.
I call that Austin Hill. I'm not gonna say to a T, but that was pretty cool to see. But Cup, man, it
I
was
cannot
just
believe, speaking of Austin Hill, real quick, I cannot believe how much better he is performing than Sheldon Creed. I thought Creed would struggle last year and be fine this year. No,
yeah, it's been I would say one step backwards, but it's been let's see, two, maybe three steps backwards. In all honesty,
not good.
not good at all. But I mean, it is what it is. But yes, speaking of not good, Las Vegas as a whole. Let me ask you this: I know you're not a betting guy, but give me an over and an under on the good race, bad race on Jeff Gluck's poll tomorrow.
37.
37. I'm gonna take the over just for the fact that Hendrick ran one, two, three.
You think people are going to say they like that?
Well,
I don't.
people are going to be skewed because it's Hendrick. I think if Larson wins that race, it
It's
goes up
higher.
tremendously. Yes,
Yes,
but
but I think Byron has the least
uh
fans out of the four.
oh, no doubt. But I still think it's going to be the over just because of the fact that Hendrick won one, two,
I
three.
say it gets
I don't know. I
37
very well could
even.
be
Yes,
surprised.
and that's too high. It may be 7, which I think was the negative, the no vote for the California Auto Club race. I think that should be more of what the positive yes vote for Las Vegas should be. Pity
Well,
full.
I've said this time after time, and um, I've always said that being at the track makes the race 20 million times better, which I believe is true in most cases because I've been texting you from the track and you've been watching from TV, and we have two entirely different perspectives. Like I'm having a blast watching it at the track and at TV. At home on TV, it's absolutely a snooze fest, with the exception of Richmond. Richmond just sucks. But I was listening to the post race show on Sirius XM, and everybody that was there seemed to say it was an awesome race. I don't know if they were seeing something we weren't in terms of what Fox was showing us, if it was just coverage or what it was. But
Maybe
there
they were
were
just
definitely
hardcore fans and wanted to say they liked it. I don't know,
there
but
were
maybe
definitely some movers. I mean, I just I
that
don't know, man.
that broadcast was horrendous. Also, I've never heard a booth have less chemistry in my life.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't good.
And once again, I'm not necessarily complaining about Danica. I Boyer and Joy just don't mix, and then she didn't mix with Mike Joy at all. It was just not good.
What did you think of the Movember comment?
The what
Did you
now?
catch that? As you were saying, the dude, they were showing the fan. They were talking about dude hasn't shaved since November, making reference to the no shave November.
Right.
Um, and then I thought it was kind of funny. It was a human she was going home with Larson and kept like saying, "Yeah, I'm going home with Larson." And I don't know, she was like making a joke out of it, but I don't know. I thought it was just weird.
Well,
It was very weird, but
she dated Aaron Rodgers. She's a strange character. You have to be so. I don't know. Maybe she goes into darkness retreats too and drinks mushroom tea. I don't know.
uh, I don't know. It was just overall not a great weekend.
No, it was.
For the sport, it was. And the thing that I hate the most is this was on Fox.
Yeah.
People are tuning in. I mean, I don't know what else was on TV today, but people are
Well, I can tell you
tuning
this
in.
much just to, and this will drive the point home of how bad it really was. The last 40 laps or so, basically from lap 40 to like four to go, um, I was flipping back and forth, and I mean flipping. I mean it was rapid fire flips, but between Furman versus um, Western Carolina basketball and that, and I don't turn races, but I mean when someone's leading by 5 seconds with 40 to go, uh and a potential NCAA tournament bids on the line, people are going to change the channel. And if I'm changing the channel, I just the casual fan has long changed the channel.
Yeah, oh, no doubt, and probably isn't going to be turning back in until we get to Talladega, if we're even that lucky.
Yeah.
Um, I, I don't know, man. I just not a good weekend. Um, I don't know. I feel like we just took a step backwards. I mean, we had
It was
such
a
good
Gen
momentum from
6.
Daytona,
Yep.
just a major step backwards. But
Yeah, and
and
it's surprising
honestly,
because both of the races at Las Vegas last year I thought were pretty good. So I hope, well, this is my hope, and I understand there are a lot of Hendrick fans out there who would like to see it, but I really hope that they haven't found something and exploited the next gen car at these mile and a halves, and the awesome racing we seen last year is going to be basically for fifth place because they're just going to be that far ahead of the field, like they were today. If that be the case, then NASCAR has their work cut out for them.
with that being said, they have figured something out. I hope that Chevy as a whole has it figured out,
Well,
not just
I'll tell
necessarily
Austin
Hendrick.
Dillon that.
I would be a okay, bro. It was so about what happened. I mean, that dude was on a golf cart with a bunch of Ferraris around him. Like it was how many laps down was he? Like how many laps did he finish? That was
I
four,
don't
five
know.
laps down.
Wow, if it was that bad, wow.
I mean,
I know the broadcast said he was two down, like 80 to go, or maybe even more than that to go, and I didn't really check on him after that.
2 laps. It felt like he was. I felt like it was more than that. To be honest with you.
Noah
Um,
Braxton as well. I mean, that was awful. I mean, he was running
but
behind BJ McLeod on speed early in the race.
I was about to make reference to that. I looked on. I mean, I know he had 3 speeding penalties on pit road, but you hit the nail on the head. I looked at the scoring pylon, which thank God they finally had working. And I noted that BJ McLeod was running in front of Gregson. I mean, that's insane.
Yes.
Of course, this is not a BJ slander podcast, but we love BJ McLeod. Um, with that being said, I think it's still pretty crazy the fact that that was a thing.
Yes.
But I mean, it is what it is. Um, Drew, we talked about doing this a while back, but let's get into it now. Um, a buy or a sell. We call it. What were we going to call it? Putting it out, not putting it out, or put it out, or stay
I
green.
I don't know.
What do you want to buy, or what do you want to sell this weekend? What do you like? What did you see this weekend that you liked, or what's something that you didn't like, and you got to buy it or sell it?
Okay, my biggest buy of the week is I'm going to buy Austin Hill stock because I think that he will be in the Cup Series. I think RCR will open up a third team for him relatively
29
soon.
car.
The kid has talent, clearly, a lot more than I think a lot of people, including myself, thought. He really impressed me. As far as a sell, I am going to sell all my stock in Stewart Haas Racing other than the four car. I bought some this year. Briscoe, with Priest, I don't know. You just have hope, especially after the clash or whatever. But holy cow, Briscoe was so bad today. He was so bad last week. Almirola runs 11th to 19th every single week for the past 5 seasons. That's going to be the same story this year. And the 41 is still racing like Cole Custer's behind the wheel. I'm selling everything of Stuart Haas. So that's my buys and sells. My one buy and my one sell. Now, if you want more, I can give you more, that's a buy and a sell.
We can do a few more. I'd like to make this suggestion. I don't know if anybody from SHR is listening, but Gene, let's just when Harvick leaves, I mean, let's cut it down to a one car team. Obviously, Briscoe is probably going to be the best driver once Harvick leaves. And being realistic, this is probably is this confirmed to be Almirola's last year? Is he
No, he
done after
signed a
this?
multi-year extension.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Well, let's go ahead and make this a one car team. We can let's go ahead and make this a one car team. Keep Briscoe in that 14, and let's go ahead and give the rest of the SHR funding to Gunter Steiner so we can make Haas Formula One competitive and make Haas Formula One great again.
Well, at this point,
Let's go and do that.
they have an equal task here in America. I mean, they are basically Spire Motorsports. A Spire car outran two of their cars all day today, and I think beat Almirola too after he spun. So, I, hmm.
Well, I mean, you say what you want. I know we're not a Formula One podcast, but I mean, Haas did score in the points today, this morning out Bahrain. So I think that's more than what they had one SHR car in the points today by Harvick. Did
Yeah,
Harvick even finish in
I don't
the
know
top
where he
10?
finished. He scored one stage point. I know.
Well, they're pretty much even paying at this point. So, I would like to. Oh God, there's so many
What's your
things
buy
I
and
want to
sell?
sell. I want to sell this rumor that I heard, and I don't think it's anything major at this point. It's major to me. I want to sell the idea of Anheuser-Busch sponsoring Ross Chastain next year. You have the perfect, and I mean the absolute perfect driver in that RCR8 car. Kyle Busch driving the Busch beer car. Does it not make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense. It's awesome. Let's go. Anybody Ross Chastain, please. I mean, I get it. He's a watermelon farmer. I mean, they drill that. I mean, they hammer that through our heads repeatedly. I mean, it's ridiculous. We get it. He works hard. He's a blue collar guy. NASCAR's really for mostly blue collar fans. I get it, but come on. As far as a buy, I'm feeling really negative. I'm having a hard time. I'm gonna buy Austin Hill. I called it last week. I thought he was gonna run really well. He's looked really well on the track. Um, and I don't see him slowing down, being 100% honest.
I
I
don't
really
either.
don't. Um, and that's one. Oh, I know what I want to buy. I want to buy Cowbush Motorsports in this transition to Chevy. This dude came out there and dominated Friday night. I mean, he absolutely stunk up the show. Not saying there was a whole lot to stink up because Las Vegas absolutely sucked this weekend, but he proved without a shadow of a doubt that he could run it back the same way he's done in years past, and absolutely go out there and kick everybody's ass and go out there and just dominate a truck race and show that KBM is just as competitive now as it ever has been. With that being said, we got to get some drivers in there, man. We got to get somebody in there that can will that
Chase
thing.
Purdy is not elite.
I'm not going to say that,
Jack
but
Wood.
we got to get somebody in there. We got to get one guy. We got to get something. But that's what I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy Austin Hill and I'm going to buy KBM, and I'm going to make another sell now. I'm going to cut it in front of you, if you don't mind. I'm going to sell Las Vegas Motor Speedway for obvious reasons this year. And while we're at it, we'll sell Texas and Kansas. Or sorry, Michigan. Kansas could possibly be there too. And Phoenix. And all the road courses. And Ross Chastain. And Danica Patrick.
Well, what are you
And
buying?
Haley Diggin. Okay. I'm gonna sell the Haley Diggin hype train. Okay, hold up. I just sat up. I don't know if y'all can hear me just set up just now. Let's have a conversation.
Let's have it
I
because I'm not
go
ready to.
on Twitter. I go on Twitter during every single truck race. This woman, and I mean woman, wrecks every single race, and it is
Well,
never
yeah, I mean,
her
but she
fault.
too. But if John Hunter Nemechek doesn't win, he wrecks too, and that's who she wrecked with. So it wasn't like it was a surprise.
Hey, you start hanging with the monkeys, you start getting some bananas. At some point, she's got to
Walker
figure it out.
Kligerman, I was
She has
also beginning to
got
get to
to
that point.
get
Just saying,
away. I would love to know if, and there's got to be some, there's got to be like a figure out there somewhere. I bet you if I tweeted Bob Pockrass enough times, we would get an answer. How much money and damage like trucks and destroyed trucks do you think Haley Deegan's destroyed in her run in the truck series?
I have no idea.
I guarantee you it's a lot of money. I guarantee you it's a lot of money. I'm
I'm
willing to
not.
bet you.
Well, listen, I'm not. I'm not willing ready to sell her.
Because
Um,
she drives for Thor Sport. Now, with that being
exactly,
said,
and
if she drove for KBM, I'd be in the same boat. I'd be on there. I'd be defending
I
her
think
by any
Thor
means.
Sport
But
is a much better situation than David Gillen Racing was, or Tricon, whatever it's called now.
Tricon's great. No slander.
Well, they have
Tricon's
how
not
many
great.
wins in their history?
Tricon's not great. Let's be honest. They can be great.
Tyler
We got to
Ankrum
get
won a
some
race in
drivers.
Kentucky, and then Todd Gillen won a couple races, and then Ryan Preece, and I mean, no, Todd just won one, um, and Ryan Preece won two, I think, and that's all I can think of. Maybe there's more. But, I don't know. I don't know.
But getting
Aaron
back to what I was
Ray has
saying,
had so many chances too. I mean, he doesn't wreck, but I mean, at some point, you got to start bringing home some hardware if you're going to continue to drive these trucks. But what do I know?
and the thing that I hate exactly. What do we know? The thing that I hate is I go and I see all these people on there. And get her to Xfinity. She hasn't done anything to
No, that
like
would be a horrible mistake.
deserve to be in Xfinity. But we discussed this last week. I brought this up last week. All these drivers are getting these rides because of sponsorship.
Right.
And like it or not, I'm willing to bet you money she's between the all three series. She's one of the most marketable drivers that we have
Absolutely.
right now. And that's going to allow her to get a seat somewhere. I don't know where to be at. I don't know if it'd be for SHR. I mean, surely she wouldn't leave Ford. I mean, I could see her going to Toyota. I
No, Ford is
Never
not
mind.
going to lose her.
I don't know, man. Uh, I don't
King
know.
of Ford, and not meaning to change the subject, but I want to talk about this anyway. What do we make of Ford's performance today? Not SHR's, not Penske's, not RFK, but all of
Or Air
Ford today.
Logano.
All of them.
Air Logano. Dude, I don't know. I mean,
If that is what the year is going to be like, holy cow.
yeah, I had DoorDash myself some food earlier, like literally as the green flag came out, and I came back and Logano and Blaney looked like they had freaking
Parachute.
like 5,000 pound boulders on their
Hmm.
spoilers. Ty Gibbs looked the same way. Like it was bad, man.
Yeah.
I
He
I
was
don't
not
know
ready for
what
Cup.
happened. No, not at all. And I enjoy seeing JGR's demise with the exception of Denny Hamlin. Um, I wish them everything but the best.
What do you think of Truex's
Um,
call today?
it was a gamble. Um,
I liked it.
he made it for. Did he make it a whole lap, or did he make it three quarters of a lap? Did Byron get him coming to the white, or did
Yeah,
he get him
coming to
just
the
after the
white.
white?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I don't know. He could have pulled a Harvick and absolutely melee the field,
Yeah, he
throw a
could.
couple blocks, but he didn't.
Yeah, he's not that type of driver. I will give him credit there.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
No, I liked it, and I think that Justin Haley, Brad Keselowski, and AJ Allmendinger all being lead lap cars should have also done the same thing because you to make the playoffs you're going to have to win a race, and those cars are not just going to win a race. You have to take your chances. I think of like Ryan Newman at Phoenix in 2017 with RCR. That was Ryan's last win. He just stayed out because he had no other choice. He wasn't going to win the race. He's not going to win just any week. You have to make it. And I wish that other people other than Truex would realize this. You're running last on the lead lap. If it doesn't work, you're going to finish last on the lead lap. By pitting and getting two tires, you're going to come out last on the lead lap. I just don't get it. I don't get why some of these drivers just fall in line. It boggles the mind, as some people would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's be honest. When it comes to Haley, and honestly, with the exception of road courses at college, but RFK and college, their best chances to win right now are these plate races. Well, not even plate
Yes,
races, but Talladega and Daytona, and hell, even Atlanta. In a couple weeks, I'm really looking forward to. Um, I don't
I
know, man.
really
That's
would
one of
like
the
to have seen what
things.
the seven would have done if he hadn't been lapped about 2-3 laps before that caution came out. I bet they would have stayed out.
I wish enough cars would have stayed out to cause chaos. I was really hoping that Kyle Busch was going to lower himself to a top five just off
He
the
should have stayed
chaos,
out.
and the chaos ensued. But that car was so bad today. I mean, it was defeating, man.
This is kind
Randall
of what I
Burnett
was
came on
worried
the
about
radio.
with him
I
being
mean, they missed
RCR.
it, man. They missed it bad. Randall Burnett came on the radio and said, "Yeah, we just missed it today. Like this is all we've got." Which is understandable. We're not going to go out there and be a winning car every single time, but every single race. But talk about bouncing back and just getting off of this West Coast swing, man. It's I don't foresee Phoenix being that much greater. I don't.
Well, with the new package, I don't know what to think. I think I'm going in there very optimistic that it's going to be a good race and not knowing what to expect. I probably am going to be wrong, but I'm going optimistic.
I'm a glass half full guy, I'm that kind of guy, but I am pessimistic as hell about this one. My expectations are low, and I still don't understand. You know what? I can go back to the buy or sell. I'm going to sell the championship race being at Phoenix. This is
I will
stupid. I
sell
don't
that every
know.
day of the week, too.
I don't know where I wanted to be at. I don't know, but anywhere other than Phoenix, literally anywhere except a road course. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. This was just it was rough. Um, it was just very rough.
How do you think Josh Berry fared today compared to your expectations?
Uh, I mean, he kept his nose clean. He didn't go out there and do anything stupid. He stayed out of the way. Expectations really weren't high, man. To be honest with you, it was just more or
No,
less
but
just kind of
they weren't.
survive.
They weren't. But I honestly feel like he did worse than expectations were for me, at least.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just such short notice. I mean, I just felt like it was just one of those things where it just survive and um, just really survive. I don't really know. I mean, dude, I mean, they were like ground level expectations, but I don't know. I'm sure Chase fans are disappointed, obviously.
I
Hendrick
think they're
fans
going
probably
to try to rush
disappointed.
him back next week because the championship race is at Phoenix, and I think they're going to want him back in the car next week if it's possible.
I don't think that's physically possible with a. I don't think it's a broken tibia. I don't think it's literally possible at all. And I don't think. I mean, they're going to get a waiver. I mean, let's be honest. They're going to get the waiver, which is fine. They deserve that. He deserves that. He doesn't need to come back
No,
and
he does.
rush
He does.
back.
But I just have a bad feeling, and it's a bad feeling because he doesn't need to be in the car. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they rush him back that quickly. I think a realistic time frame would probably be. I don't want to say Darlington, mid-April, maybe in Martinsville.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I just don't want to see him come back and mess himself up or be in pain or just, you don't want to see somebody come back too early, regardless of the sport. But especially in a sport where you're using your leg, as much as you are, like NASCAR. I mean, the only track where you're really not um, really going crazy is Daytona and Talladega. But outside of that, I mean, it's constantly braking, constantly off throttle. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be off throttle, but with this package that we have, that's a whole nother story. And let me stop rambling. This is going to turn into something that's not supposed to be.
uh,
Anyway, Phoenix this weekend. I'm not gonna lie, man. I have absolutely no positive feelings toward this racetrack at all. I mean, they absolutely murdered everything about it. I think it's horrendous.
I
The
think
only
they
reason you
should have
get hurt,
switched the finish line like they did, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
the only reason we get here twice a year is because they pumped in a buttload of money into this track, and they're trying to get a return on investment, which is the dumbest thing in the world. Why
Yeah.
could we? Why do we sell Auto Club? Why do we not sell Phoenix? Why? Why? We all know why, because LA's market is absolutely booming.
Yeah.
But it should have been Phoenix.
Probably won't be too long until Phoenix's is too.
Yeah, I'd be a okay. A okay. Why are we getting rid of South Boston, but we're keeping Phoenix? What a sad state of
We should be
affairs.
racing at South Boston.
We should be racing anywhere but Phoenix.
At
But
least the truck
alas,
or Xfinity race there. I mean, what's wrong with it? I mean, they're not attracting fans into the stands like they used to, the companion events, as people would call them. Let's bring them out to places that they might. I,
that on that subject, we've gone all over the place with this thing, and I kind of like that. Last year, it was
well, and I think it's very fair after the race we watched today. I think it's very fair because there's really not much to talk about other than dragging it through the mud for 45 straight minutes, and there's no point in doing that. So,
we're not going to do that. But last year, I think it was I can't remember exactly when it was. It might have been right in the middle of fall. I remember we had talks about going out to Florence, and I remember looking at the entry list. I think Keelan Harvick was out there running a Harvick's son
Mhm.
was running a Bandolero, and I think that was one weekend. And there was another weekend that Matt Hirschman was out there running a modified out there. I forgot what that league is that they run, but they, they don't market these things at all.
No,
I
it's
mean, that's
horrendous.
two races. I mean, outside of Dale Jr. going out there, and that's more or less kind of by word of mouth and him promoting himself on his social media. But
Right.
these people like that, they don't promote it at all.
Well,
It's
think
like
about
literally just word of mouth. Like
yeah, think
I guarantee you, if you tell somebody that hey, Harvick's son's out there, Harvick's going to be out there with his son, I guarantee you, them stands are going to be packed. There's going to be Jello shots galore out
yes,
there.
there are.
I guarantee you, there's people out there. I mean, Matt Hirschman is one of the best modified drivers in the country. If you tell them that Hirschman is going out there, I guarantee they're going to be out there. I'd have been out there, but these people don't market this stuff at all, and I feel like
Well,
that half of what's
yeah,
done.
and
They're just
another
going off
complaint.
of the Chinese food way of marketing things by just reputation. And at some point, I hate to say it, but the old heads are going to die out, and the
Yep,
boomers just, you
and
know,
there's no one going to be left out there
yeah,
to take Jello shots.
exactly.
And you know what? Another complaint I have about it. You're exactly right. By the way, think about how we passed it the first time we went out there because we didn't know where to turn because the sign was so bad. I mean, come
Oh,
on.
with that being said, Apple Maps is horrendous on that aspect because I don't know where the hell we were, but yes, that too. Um, I don't know, man. We got to be better. Um,
Yes. Or the whole short track industry is going to be dead, which is already dying. But I mean, if it continues on like it is, there's going to be no hope at all.
with that being said, of Lakeview winter tomorrow, I can't say I'd be sad, but I mean it is. But never mind. We're not going to put that can of worms. I was about to make reference to the dude that went missing racing at Lakeview, but we're not going to put that can of worms on here. I don't want to
That might be
turn it
off
into a
week subject.
an investigation discovery
That's
uh,
right.
podcast. But anyway, you got any predictions for Phoenix this weekend
Yeah,
outside of
top three. Are we
another
running
shitty
trucks
race?
there?
I don't think we are.
Okay.
I
I
think
don't.
the trucks come back at Atlanta.
Okay. So Xfinity top three. I'm going to go with. I don't know the cup drivers in the field. Do you? It's probably too early to know, right?
Um, I'm just gonna assume that it's just relatively regular Xfinity field as
Okay.
far as full
All
timers.
right. I'm going all guy are winning. Second place to John Hunter, and third place going to. I drug him through the mud, but I'll go with Josh Berry in third place. I don't
Speaking
have
of dragging through the mud, and speaking of John Hunter Nemechek, is Ben Bayshore just that good of an Xfinity crew chief as opposed to Cup
mm, I don't know.
for
I would
John
be
Hunter to
more
be
impressed
running
if
as good as he is?
I'd be more impressed with him winning with Sammy Smith over John Hunter. I think John Hunter is a cup level talent when he's not hitting the wall.
Hey, that's hit the wall quite a bit. No Austin Hill love in there. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, I don't have faith in RCR completely.
With that being said, I would love to see Sheldon Creed start making some progress. I don't know if it's going to happen.
I'm going to
I'm
scratch
pretty
Josh Berry and put Brandon Jones as the third place finisher, actually.
Brandon Jones, or Junior Motorsports on there. Um, I'm going to keep the love going with Austin Hill. These are absolutely in no particular order. I think I made that mistake last week. I did call the Kyle Busch sweep, which I mean did not work out in any way, shape, or form. Um, Austin Hill, I'm going to throw in there. I still like Al Guy. I still think he's from what we've seen so far as I mean, it's very early to say, but I mean, he's always one of the favorites as far as being there at the end of the year, being a championship contender. Um, Third, I would love to see Sheldon Creed rip one out and see RCR get some momentum with both cars, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Um, I have no reason to see John Hunter slowing down, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw John Hunter in there as well. Those are my three for Xfinity. What's your cup list looking like?
Well, I'm going to go with. I know I just badmouthed the Fords, but I don't see how we can go from Phoenix in November, the Penske Fords that is being so dominant to not being a factor. So I'm going to say Ryan Blaney ends the long dry spell and wins in Phoenix. I think Logano will have a top three finish, and I want to say Chastain, but just because I mean we were just there. I know we've had the off season, but I feel it's almost impossible for it to be the same three. So I'm gonna go with the two Penske drivers there, and I'm gonna go with Kyle Larson being my third.
Oh, I've got y'all pretty close. I'm gonna say Joe Logano, no particular order. Kyle Larson. I'm gonna throw an oddball in there. I'm gonna say Kevin Harvick. I think
Yeah,
Harvick's gonna pull one out of us behind. I think Ronnie's gonna get that. I don't know if he's driving a Busch Light Mustang or a Mobile One Mustang, but he's gonna get that Jacob tuned up, and I think they're gonna be competitive. Harvick's pretty good at Phoenix as it
yes, he
is,
is.
so we'll see what happens. Like I said, not overly optimistic. Like I said, I'm a glass half full guy.
I am.
This could very well be, depending on how that Xfinity race looks Saturday. This could very well be the day that we go up to Whiteville. Shout out Whiteville.
Shout
Um,
out Whiteville. That's right.
uh, but just get us through this. Get us to Atlanta. Atlanta's going to be awesome. Um,
Then Coda,
yeah, Coda's great. Why do we go to so many road courses? It's
because that's
so
what the
bad.
fans wanted 15 years ago.
I'm not gonna lie. Like this stretch here is about as bad as that stretch we come back from break where we go to what is it, Indy and then turn around and go to
Oh yeah, Michigan, Pocono, New Hampshire, that stretch.
it's rough, man. It's
Whew.
rough, rough, rough. And I've been sick for the past few weeks. We've been blessed with some great races. Like there's no doubt from the Clash. I mean, the Clash was insane. I don't know if you could call it a good race, but I've been sitting there thinking in the back of my mind, I was so glad the NASCAR's back, man. Even these snooze fests that we have, which I hate snooze fest, like saying snooze fest. But man, I'm really just glad to see racing. And like I said, at some point today, I was ready to go to sleep. It almost actually put me to sleep.
Yeah,
But
like
I
and
mean,
like I said, if I'm flipping channels, well, I mean, I was still very invested in the race, but if I'm flipping channels, I can only imagine what the casual fans done 30, 40 laps before.
let me ask you this: There's no stages. There's no stage cautions. How many times
Oh
does
God.
Larson lap the field today?
Well, I don't think Byron ever loses the lead in that scenario.
Oh, sorry. How long? How many times do Byron and Larson lap the field today?
They probably lap up to about 11th or 12th.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so? I don't know, man. I think them jokers could have put even more of an ass whooping on them today, but I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, well, that's enough rambling.
Yep.
Hopefully, we'll have something positive to talk about. Hopefully, some more news will come about. This was a very dreary episode of the Burnout. Just sad, not really sad, but uneventful. With that
True.
being said, I'm Drew. He's Drew, and we're gone.
And we'll check you out after Phoenix.